Hi, kids! Good afternoon. This is Teacher Bernice, and today we are going to talk about Abraham, the father of all nations. But before that, make sure that you have your Bibles and notebooks with you, and you have these three things open: your eyes, your ears, and your hearts, so that God would talk to you through this lesson. Are you ready? If you are, let's start. Did you know that before God called Abraham's name Abraham, he was originally named Abram, and his wife was actually named Sarai? They are both Chaldeans living in the city of Ur. But then, one day, God told him to leave the city and travel on a long journey to live in the land of Canaan. God promised Abram he would bless him and make him the father of a great nation. Those who blessed his descendants would be blessed by God, and those who cursed his descendants would be cursed. Abram obeyed and set off with his wife Sarai, his father Terah, and his nephew Lot. When they got to Haran, they stopped to settle. During this time, Abram's father Terah died. By now, Abram was 75 years old. God told him to continue on his journey to the land of Canaan. Abram obeyed, and they traveled south into the land of Canaanites. They came to a great tree at Shechem and settled there. God told Abram, "I will give this land to your offspring." Abram built an altar to the Lord at Shechem and worshipped him. Abram and those with him then moved south to Bethel. Once he arrived, he built an altar to God in honor of his name. But then there was a famine in the land. Food became scarce and many became hungry. Abram and his family decided to travel south through the desert to Egypt to find food. As they entered Egypt, Abram became very worried. His wife Sarai was very beautiful. He feared that Pharaoh might kill him so he could take Sarai as his wife. So he told Sarai to pretend she was not his wife but his sister. Pharaoh's officials told Pharaoh how beautiful Abram's sister was, and he took her into his palace. He then gave Abram cattle, donkeys, servants, and gifts. God, however, inflicted Pharaoh and his household with serious diseases. When Pharaoh found out Sarai was already married, he summoned Abram. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife?" he exclaimed. "Take her and go." Pharaoh gave orders to his officials and sent Abram, Sarai, and everyone with him out of Egypt, along with all their possessions. They set off on the way back to Canaan with the cattle, servants, and gifts Pharaoh had given them. They arrived back at Bethel and settled there to live. Abraham prayed to God, calling on his name, but he could not settle in the land of Canaan the land God had promised him and his descendants. He and his wife Sarai had no children, and both were already getting older. So, how is he gonna be the father of all nations if he has no children? Are God's promises even true? If you want to find out, stay tuned to our online Sunday school. But that's all for now. Teacher Bernice says bye and God bless you. See you next week.